Loneliness is something that I've learned to accept. I think that to truly find yourself, you need to be lonely at one point in life. Because that's how you try to find your true self. Because if you're around a bunch of people, they're gonna influence how you act. And, like, draw you away from yourself. If you become lonely, you isolate yourself, you'll find nobody to influence your actions, and you'll start becoming aware of yourself in a way that other people can't. They are, you'll find who you truly are, and you'll start to become comfortable with it. A lot of people who become lonely, they're not comfortable with themselves. They're not comfortable being alone. But I see it as a way to find your true self, because the first time I was lonely, I was, I didn't, like, I was uncomfortable with who I truly was, and I didn't really know who I was. I was just kind of like going around and just like relating to other people and letting other people influence me, my actions and my thoughts. But you'll have these deep thoughts once you're alone, and you'll start reflecting on who you are as a person. And it's an actual good thing to be, because you'll be lonely, but you'll build your true identity and your character, and you'll come out of that a more well-rounded individual, and you'll find your true meaning, your personality, really. Your personality, something that's influenced by other people and not by yourself. That's like, you're not being true to yourself. You're not being who you are. Something that loneliness taught me is that it it helps it helps you it helps you stop being a character that you're truly not. And, like, loneliness builds on you, helps you develop emotionally intelligence. It starts to really give you a whole new perspective on how people are, how they act, how fake they are. You'll see people who have tons of friends, and they're like a character. They let these people influence them, and they're not comfortable to be alone. I don't think they found their true personality. It's kind of just formed by other people. But yeah, it's a nice thing, really. It's, it really, helps you reflect on who you are as a person. Uh, and you'll become really, like, once you found your identity and your personality, it becomes a lot easier to talk to people. Cause if you talk to somebody, you don't really know how to act if you don't have a personality. You're kind of just going with what they think and how they'll, like, perceive your opinion. You'll like say stuff that you think that they'll relate to, but not truly what you think, because you don't have an identity. You're going off of what other people like to hear. But once you find your true personality, you'll stop caring what they think, and you'll start valuing your own opinion a lot more than others. And you'll say what's on your mind, you'll say what you think, you'll be more comfortable because you found who you are, and it becomes a lot easier to stop being a character and stop going with what people want you to hear. That's a very comfortable feeling that a lot of people aren't comfortable to do. They don't want to upset people by what they think, and it's like they're nervous to it's like a shield barrier. They don't want to be vulnerable. So it's kind of like protecting itself in that way. But once you stop giving a shit and just say what's on your mind, you'll become a lot more confident in yourself. You'll and that confidence, people can notice that and they'll be attracted to that. They're not People aren't attracted to fake people. They could tell when you're fake, and they could tell when you're not truly yourself. And when you become alone, and you'll start becoming more comfortable with yourself, so then people could see that, and it will be a lot easier to make friends. Like, people become alone and they'll think they'll never, like, talk to people again. They'll think they'll always be like that, but it takes a very long time of being alone to really identify who you are as a person. Um, and at first it will be uncomfortable and you won't like it, but the longer you go, the more comfortable you'll become with yourself alone. And the less you'll feel the need to become this character that people that you want to relate to. You'll just become more comfortable with yourself, and that will be an attractive feature that not that many people have. And they'll see that you're comfortable with yourself and your opinions. And you're, that's like one of the best things you could have as a person, being comfortable with yourself. If you're not comfortable with yourself, then how are you gonna, like, how are you gonna, like, relate to people, like, relate to yourself? Uh, but yeah, loneliness, it's not a bad thing. People think it's the worst thing that could happen to you, but really it's one of the best, because it's one of those times to where you'll have a true self-reflection that you could build on yourself and become a lot more comfortable with who you are in your own skin. That's one of the best feelings to have, really, when you're truly comfortable with who you are as a person and just not double thinking about your conversations, how you act. It's really like, it's very peaceful to not have those extra influences. But if you're lonely, just take the time to reflect on who you are as a person, and you'll become a lot more comfortable with it, and it'll allow you to make more friends, meet new people, um, and you'll come out of that the other side as a lot better person than you were before. And it, like, it also, it just helps you develop, like, overall, not even just like your personality, just like your intelligence on the world and how people act, how you act, um, emotional intelligence, um, and it'll help you become comfortable. But, yeah, if And people become depressed when they're lonely. It's something that, like, it's not very avoidable. But, you know, once you come out of that side, and once you come out of that loneliness, what truly comes out of that loneliness is developing yourself and, like, being comfortable. Like I said, like 100 times in this video. But really, like, you could be alone and be very, like, depressed. And that was me in the beginning, but I'm not really uncomfortable with that anymore because I'm comfortable with who I am. And once you're comfortable with who you are, you'll be comfortable with other people and letting them know who you are. And that'll allow you, you know, to make more friends, not be lonely. But yeah, if you're lonely, just know that it's actually a good thing. And the longer you're like that, it's not the worst thing, you know. You'll become a better person in the end. And it's a good thing that it's happened to you because you'll be a lot comfortable with yourself. But yeah, that's gonna be it.